working well.
Question number 6, the Honourable Amy Adams.
Thank you. My question is to the Minister of Finance. Can he confirm that the half-year economic and fiscal update 2018 shows that, when compared to the pre-election economic and fiscal update 2017, core Crown tax revenue is forecast to be $17.7 billion higher over the period 2018-19 to 2021-22?
Mr. Speaker, the short answer to the member's question is no. The slightly longer answer is that Pre-Fu 2017 does not contain a forecast for the 21-22 year, but rather a projection that is based on a mathematical model. Forecasts are subject to a much more rigorous approach than projections, and therefore it is not appropriate to compare the two periods as the member attempts to do in her question.
Point of order.
A point of order, the Honourable Amy
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave to table a document prepared by the Parliamentary Library that compares the core Crown tax revenue over the 4 years in the primary question and calculates the difference in each year.
Well, I'll put the leave. Is there any objection? Appears to be none.
Supplementary. Is he aware that $5.1 billion of the extra tax that has been added to the projections in just the 6 months since budget 2018, or that has been added in 6 months since budget 18, when real economic growth over those same 4 years is now forecast as being lower than was provided for in the budget just 6 months ago?
Mr. Speaker, I don't have that number in front of me, but what I have been advised is that the vast bulk of the lift in revenue actually comes because people are earning higher wages and there are more jobs. Something to celebrate.
David Seymour.
Has his rapacious overtaxation of hard-working Kiwis...
Order. The member will resume his seat.
No, the question is out of order. The member knows it, and I'm not taking any argument. Amy Adams.
Well, given the Minister's reference to wages, is he aware that the half-year update real wage growth forecasts for the next 4 years have also declined since budget 2018?
Mr. Speaker, what they say is that wages will grow on average around 3% a year, which is a significant improvement and lift on the record of the member's government.
Point of order.
I
asked very specifically about real wage growth. He answered about a different set of numbers, which is nominal wage growth. The Minister of Finance, I'm sure, knows the difference.
Mr. Speaker.
Speaking to the point of order.
No, I was going to add to the answer if that's helpful.
Well, if the member wants to.
It's the same difference, really. Mr. Speaker, it may well show that, but, Mr. Speaker, that's because those forecasts do get revised between BFU and HAIFU. They still represent good, solid wage growth for New Zealanders.
Does he still stand by his statement made earlier this year, and I quote, "We're actually transitioning away from an economy based on population growth," close quote, in light of the half-year update showing economic growth per person as lower every single year over the forecast period than the average over the 5 years before he took office?
Speaker, we most certainly are in the transition that the member talks about in her question, and it's a transition that, as I've said many times, will take some time. We can't make up for 9 years of neglect in 1 year, but what we are seeing is a government that is finally committed to investing not only in the transition to an economy that's got a lower carbon output, but also to one where we actually include people all over New Zealand, including in the regions.
Isn't the real story of last week's half-year update that growth and growth per person forecasts are down, inflation and the cost of living has gone up, and despite all of that, the amount of tax New Zealanders are having to hand over to the government has gone up significantly?
Mr. Speaker, no. The real story of the half-year economic and fiscal update is that the government is managing the books well, is making sure that we're investing in the things that matter to New Zealanders, and that we have got a vision for an economy where everyone gets to share in prosperity.
Question number 7, the Honourable Paul Goldsmith.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.